we join the party as they start to get ready to don the griffins on an evening where the moon has set. The fog has once again rolled in, and off in the distance, flashes of light begin to ripple through the clouds and the fog. The griffins start to squawk and whistle into the evening. As straps and saddles are fastened under the belly of the creatures, they cry out as Captain Buttocks approaches one of the griffins.
Alright, so. How long you going for then, now?
As long as it takes, I'd imagine.
Yeah, alright.
I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get there, but we do have a way of communicating, so we'll let you know as soon as we can.
Yeah, right. It's gotta be quick though, this rain is getting pretty heavy, huh?
I look to Mr. Tai and his clothes. He mentioned before that they were stained with blood. How are they now? I'm seeing with the rain.
They're starting
I'm guessing that they're pretty fucking stained
yeah, they're
still.
still stained, but
Okay.
the rain is starting to wash them away slowly. It's in the beginning stages of where it's starting to fade in with the fabric. The edges of the stains aren't as pronounced as they once were.
I ask because I'm holding a small contraption that I had been working on that evening. I know we don't have much time, but maybe perhaps I can just do this thing to see if it works or not. It shouldn't take long. Okay. So I'm going to place these long like sticks into a frame. It looks almost like a door frame. So you have 2 sticks that are 6 feet long, and then you have 2 other ones that are, maybe 2 feet long, like a door frame. I'm going to go reach inside my pouch, get the foamy vial that I use for my mage hand and all that, and I'm going to shake it up and open it. And if you look at this frame, it's like an empty door frame on the I guess the deck of the ship. There's another wooden plank on the bottom, and it's like a screen, so you can lift it up and down on this door. I'm going to pour some of the soap onto that screen, and then shink, put it upwards. And as I do that, you can see this opalescent screen door on this door frame that I've made.
Kind of like a bubble, like
yes.
a bubble membrane. Okay.
Exactly that. And I say, walk through. I say to Tai.
Walk through. Can't I just take them off and like?
Walk through.
All right.
Just as you would, just right through the door.
I plod through, I think.
Okay.
Awkwardly.
Step
So
through, the membrane starts to stretch and then catch onto the surface around you, and then starts to then lick across the surface of you as you make your way through.
And as he steps all the way through, the bubble, it's like a cellophane almost like on his face, and then poof, it makes this big bubble behind him, full of all the blood and the impurities that were on his clothes and armor and skin and all that. And this one big bubble just rises to the sky about 20 feet before popping and then raining down into the sea.
Okay.
And he's clean.
Into the sea, you see a mist of crimson and whatever else was on your your person and your clothes, even like a deep cleaning of maybe your socks and things like that, of just whatever was magically lifted from you and the surface of your clothes and things like that, as well as this thing splurts into the ocean.
Bloody hell.
Clean. I'm glad it
Yeah.
works, and your skin is still on. Okay. So, does anybody else want to go, or should we go now?
That'd be a good idea for all of us. I sort of look around and give myself a little smell.
Give me a
I think we could
perception
all use
check,
it.
everyone. As you start to then make your way through one by one. If this is, of course, what you all do, those who do take the time to step through this makeshift cleaning portal, this little this people wash that
A jet wash, if you will.
jet wash, as you step
Wow.
through, and you all start to then clean. I would like some perception checks from you all. I would like an advantage from Varsha.
Oh, 15.
Okay. Let me,
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because
7.
we're still exhausted, right?
No, I think the exhaustion's gone.
Okay. I don't think it is for me, actually, because I had 2.
Well, I think it took us a few days to get to where we are right now.
Okay. Always looking out for me. Smith, thank you.
And for the audience sake,
Someone's got to.
for the audience sake, that was, yes, prestidigitation. Just a bit of a twist to it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this. Give me 1 second.
I think we could all use a bit of cleaning. We've been through a lot. If you wouldn't mind, Jet, might be a good idea.
Okay. All right. So I just I keep re-preparing the screen door again, and they allow them to go through.
Okay. So the perception checks, now I got to look at them now that I fixed it and didn't even get to look. Okay, so Ty and Jet, you notice as you all step through, and after some time, as for this moment of, you all step through and start looking around and you notice that the rain is starting to come down a bit heavier. You do notice over time, it is not gathering or pooling on your skin as if it was. It's not pulling on your skin as if it would normally, as it would just gather and then it would fall where it lies. It would gather and then fall, and then when it does trickle down your face and around some of the people that you are watching, you start to notice the pattern that when it falls, it's falling into recesses on the skin. And then you start to notice that the skin of your friends are starting to hang a little bit loose as the winds and the rain start to pick up. And it does look, and as you look over towards Smith, there is a little bit more gray in his hair. And as you look over towards Ty is a little bit, his jaw is a little bit more angled as wind blows through again from the storm, and you start to notice that it, for a moment there, it vanishes. But you both sort of catch this for a moment.
What?
As the winds start to pick up.
Was it just for a fleeting moment that they saw this, or was this...
For a fleeting moment, as like the winds blow through.
As we pass through the winds.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did I see this with my perception?
Yes,
22?
yes. Yeah, you and
You
Ty.
and Ty,
You and Ty both
yep.
saw this.
Do we
Start to notice this.
have
Probably because
any
you're the
idea what
first
it
two
might
people
mean?
through. You would assume maybe something with the Spellwind, but you
But
have
like,
never.
is it like an active thing or just like a strange perception thing, like a distortion? Because almost like
history.
when you're in a desert and you see a mirage,
Yeah.
it's not real.
Go ahead and give me a history check, the two of you, as you try to piece together what is going on.
No idea. What
20.
the fuck was that?
Jet, you
Ooh.
with a 20, Jet, you do start to then remember a time, or at least a story somewhere, either whether it was in your travels or whether it was once in 9U's, but you do know that there are some storms of the Spellwind. They can present themselves in different ways. Some are a purple lightning that flashes across the sky. Some are pink, vibrant winds and rain. Never heard of anything like this before.
Would I know if a spellstorm is dangerous?
Very much so.
I don't think we should leave the boat. I think we are in a spellstorm. Is that what you're calling
What?
it? Or a spellwind storm?
Yeah.
Jim?
You can
What the
Spellstorm.
fuck
Is
is
good.
that?
The winds, the weather, it's Did anybody else see that?
Yeah. What is it?
I don't know, some form of magic gone wrong, gone erratic with the winds. This is dangerous, this is bad. I think we have to go inside the boat. There's no other way. If we
You
go out
think
there, we
our
might
boat's
die.
going to protect us?
Okay. It looked like almost like edging. Like I want to say necrotic magic? The boat is
do you
made of
mean?
wood. When I stepped through the through my portal, I saw you all older, aging, dying.
That's what I saw.
As the winds blew through, it could indicate the type of magic that the spellstorm is embodying. The flesh is weak. The boat is wood.
Will the wood rot?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Let's do it. Go.
Yeah.
There's no other alternative.
Okay. I'll get everyone inside.
Okay.
Should we leave the griffins out here?
Absolutely not.
I put my hood up and I start to shout to the people on about the deck. Get inside! Get
Buttocks.
inside now!
Buttocks, do we have a place that we can
This is-
get these griffins in?
Oh yeah, right up this way. Yeah, we can get them inside. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, but
All right, well, I'll keep watch on them.
We have to get inside now.
Yeah. Okay.
Go.
Okay. So you all rush. You start to panic starts to then wash across the deck as some rumors start to then spread, or the gossip of the news that there is a potential spellstorm right on the horizon. As this was mentioned, and as you make your way through across the deck, you do start to notice through some of the crew members and some of the prisoners that you've taken, there is ripples and winds that go through, and their image changes into this gaunt creature. The wrinkles start to pronounce for a moment, but they are not affected physically, as it is just the image that is probably only you or your friends have seen. As everybody starts to then point at each other as winds blow through and these breezes start to then age them for the moments and for that iota of a second of this quantum wind of the Spellwind blowing through. As you do start to get a little bit closer toward being in a place where you can all head inside, as people start to funnel in toward the deck here, you do notice, Varsha, as you take a look back out, into the distance, you do start to see a moat of dark energy. And when I say a moat, I mean a moat of dark energy, gargantuan in size off of the horizon. You would only assume this would be potentially some sort of eye as winds start to pick up around it. Blue lightning starts to then streak across into the sphere of darkness as it slowly has been growing bigger this entire time, as you are all trying to then throw down an anchor or prepare for a rough storm. What do you do in these couple of moments as this darkness starts to then blow in through the air? You do notice the flags are starting to then, and the sails are starting to whip and bend. You notice down as you grab, I think probably one of the door handles from slamming against the ship here. You grab for a moment and you just see a gaunt hand of yours. Your fingernails are longer than usual as you then take a moment to realize that it is the flesh that has recessed off of your hand for a moment as the winds as the winds blow through again, and you lit your hand off of the handle of this door as it's still.
I just trying to tend to the griffins and make sure that they don't bite anybody's head off. Or something.
Okay.
Trying to get them loaded in, and secure. We need them, and
Okay.
I think I'd probably be looking out at the storm and
Me too.
thinking about what have we gotten ourselves into,
Yeah.
and is this place different than what we are used to? Is this going to kill us all?
Yes, this is a moment of dread as Varsha, you both look toward. I think you and Smith share this glance and this moment as there is just this is like, what have we gotten into? This is past. We're not just past the kingdom lines. This is past even what we know. As you are able to then fight your way through the winds to get to in the inner decks down into the belly of the ship, you, for a moment, it's silent as the murmurs and the darkness. A couple of torches are lit, or a couple of lanterns, hooded lanterns are lit. A very dim light down here as a hushing murmur of nervousness. The boat rocks and sways. And there is still, and you've been told that the anchor has been lowered. Unsure if it has any sort of purchase toward the sea floor, but still, it is rocks and heaves as a lot of the crowd starts to then heave onto all of you, and then you try to find balance as it then rocks toward the other direction. Moments go by, and I don't know if you've ever felt or ever had to feel like you've ever had to hide in the basement during a storm, but that waiting of knowing that something's happening that you can't see just above is rattling through that anxiety of what is happening on the ship, what is happening, which way are we facing, how close is the eye, is it even going to hit us? All of these things start to reel through your minds as these ribbons of arcane squeeze through the cracks of the ship, and you do start to see that the cracks of the ship start to gray, and the brown stain starts to then crackle into a black age as mold starts to pick up for a moment and then disperses as you glimpse and are all glimpsing into I guess the future, or what could be the future of a wrecked ship, as the ship starts to then gather its reality again, and you start to then breathe. And as you keep breathing, and you are all probably silent in this moment, but a chorus of dread sings in your mind as you're all breathing through this moment. The lanterns all go out at the same time. And you do start to feel a static in the air, a smell of ozone as a pressure shift happens. Only then do you start to feel as if you must be close to this eye. I am
Helmet
going.
is on.
Your helmet, yes. I would assume. What is everyone doing during this time? You have a couple of moments during that entire preparation or emotion. I know that Smith is a helmet is donning itself over your suit.
I am just there, back to the wall, calmly, going through all my items, my reagents, my bottles, just, one after the other, counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, making sure I have everything, making sure that I am prepared for what's happening next. Over and over and over again, my eyes closed, just going through everything so I can go and get the right one at the right time whenever I need to. And I'm just there.
Go ahead.
I have something, Cord, and I'm not sure if I can use it in this way, but
Okay.
I took a spell a little while ago from Brother Sykes, Warding Wind,
Okay.
and I think I would like to collect us, the group of us together, and and do that spell around us. I don't know if it'll protect us from this, but the description is it's a strong wind that blows around you, and it extinguishes unprotected flames, and it hedges out vapor, gas, and fog that can be dispersed by strong wind. So obviously it's like this wind competing against that wind, but
Okay.
I think I'd like to try.
Yeah. All right. So you sort of let me in on this scene. What happens here as you start to gather everyone and start to cast this spell, whatever it may look like.
I think when I was up on the top deck of the ship and I was looking at that and I exchanged that look with Smith, and I really felt the both of us thought this might be it, and we're in way over our heads, and then I just want to keep everybody safe and see if we can get through this. And I think when I come back downstairs and I push my way through and no one's speaking and everybody's tense and upset and I can feel it and nobody wants to maybe admit how scary this is, I think I just, without saying anything, I think I usher everyone close enough because it's only 10 feet and I need us all to kind of be together for this to work. And I think the wind comes from me rather than coming from my surroundings. So it pushes out. My hair will billow a little bit, clothing, and this wind comes out and then it starts to spiral and swirl like I am the eye. And then that stillness spreads to the 10 feet. And then the winds start to pick up and everything around us is becoming this like shield of howling wind. And it's still for us.
Okay. Could you do me a favor and make me an Arcana, or you have to spam the spell in the chat, and we'll see what we can do for the Spellwind here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make me an Arcana as you start to create this conflicting wind.
11.
So as you start to then gather the arcane or your own arcane winds and start to then shape the quantum arcane spellwind as you are able to weave what it is that you cast your spells from, you are able to match and meet the wind that is blowing in from this storm, at least enough to then protect those who are in your immediate vicinity. For the moment, as you hear a whine or a rubbing against, it could potentially be the Spellwind itself, or at least the difference of pressure between yours and what's happening nearby. The cracks of the ship you are on is starting to fill and whistle with this dark wind, and as it does, you start to see strikes of static as it starts to then your wind, or as your warding wind starts to then blow and whip around and try to protect your friends. It's the conflicting energy and pressure change that is the Spellwind also creates a little storm of its own right on the barrier between your own, creating this. And as it does, you start to see these motes of electricity, and one, it starts to dance in the air for a moment, and then sort of like a flame in zero gravity, an orb of electricity starts to then drip out of this pressure flux between the two winds. You do see it dance around for a moment as it lights up many faces down here, and for a second, it strikes again. Lightning shoots out from this orb and hits a prisoner in the eye. They go blind for a moment and they scream, and they stop. Their eyes open, tears forming.
And I don't know. So I think my eyes are closed while I'm concentrating on this. I feel like this is really difficult for me. This is the first time I've ever cast the spell, and I'm trying to remember what Brother Sykes taught me about wards. Yeah. And it was very confusing, and I'm sort of doing my best. But I think I can't really hear anything outside of this.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of you inside the ward, but I think I'm sort of oblivious to what's happening around me.
You all see this. You all see that there are sparks coming off of this pressure change, and you do start seeing these motes of electricity then sort of spawn off of these conflicting winds.
I like to think some of it, too, is on my skin as well. Like that. It's almost as if you could see static electricity. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a moment where 3 of these orbs start to, and they would spray off, and these arcs and these branches of lightning would rip out into the space. And then as the tendril of lightning webs back towards this floating ball, you start to see it move against the wind, indicating some sort of consciousness, indicating some sort of movement. And I'm not sure if you would, Varsha, as you are concentrating right now, but you all see who is watching these things, they start to move in conflict to which way these winds are blowing, and lightning starts to then shoot an arc as it hits the ceiling and some other of the metal objects that these prisoners are wearing. Screams start to then erupt from many of them as these 3 like now beach ball size sparks are now trying to wreak havoc in the bottom of the ship. I'm going to need you all to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to try to quickly make some sort of map here.
Eight for Varsha, which makes sense because she's concentrating on something else.
Okay.
I think you have to clear out the turn order.
Oh, yes. I don't have it on my screen. Where is it? Where is my turn order? Okay. I think I did it.
Okay. We need tokens to do it, right?
Yes, true. Thank you. Give me one.
Yeah, you can roll it now and add it.
It's for Jet because Jet.
Here's an old map, but we'll see if it'll work. And I need to do something.
Oof.
Hold, please.
Holding.
Tie with that fucking initiative. Jesus.
Boy's back. He's clean.
Yeah.
My 2 rolls today have been a 28 and a 27.
He just needed a bath.
I needed a bath, mate. Although there are 2 signs that have hit me, which means I'm going to be extremely ineffective in this fight, and I apologize now.
Hey, what does this look like?
Please enjoy.
Okay, it's a black screen. Perfect. What is going on with my roll 20? Seems like anything's working today. All right, great. Well, we're just not going to worry about map.
Sounds good.
So, what is our... I don't even have my turn order on this screen, so that's cool too. Okay.
So Ty had a 27. Smith had a 14. Varsha had a 7. No, an 8. And Jet had an 8.
Have to go old school. All right, what was it again? Sorry, 27 for Ty?
27 for Ty.
27, 14, 8, and 8.
Who was the
Smith.
first 8? Smith?
No,
No.
Smith is 14, and then
Varsha
Varsha
and Jet
and then Jet.
both had 8.
Right. How do I get on the turn order?
click your token and then roll again
Doesn't
and then
have-
just adjust
Oh,
it.
there is no token.
Oh. Oh, okay.
There you go. Okay. Ty, it is your turn as you start to see these. You start to see these large beach ball size sparks make their way across and dance around the bottom of the ship, almost very haphazardly. But you do start to see arcs of lightning start to spider out from it as it starts to then hit some of the people who are wearing different conductive materials, metals, armors, and sheaths and knives and things like that, as well as it starts to then kiss the ceiling, and also where a lot of the mist is spraying through, a lot of the eroding cracks that then seal up as the wind blows through, creating this very odd miasma of aging boat. And water does not spray through the crevices and cracks that this wind creates, though, as it does start to open and create this old ruinous ship. It's like two images, one of a ruined wrecked ship and old dead zombies, and also your living boat are conflicting here as your boat is filled with these people, as this is all happening. About 10 feet from you is one spark, 5 feet to your right, and then 15 feet across a crowd of people is another.
Can I confirm that what I'm seeing is real?
As real as you can. As real as you can perceive, yeah. I mean, it's like
yeah,
as this is
'cause
happening, it's you could, yeah, for a moment
I
question
don't trust
yourself.
my own eyes.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me an insight.
I know that's a really vague bullshit question, but
Right,
I don't. You're more than
It's-
welcome to just say no.
This is real. This is happening.
Okay, and it's just like a floating spark, like
18 is what he rolled. I'm not sure what's
an
going on.
18. It's literally just a floating spark. It's not attached to anything. It's not corporeal necessarily. It just looks like an energy ball.
Like an electric energy
Yep.
ball. Okay.
What do I do with that? I mean, I guess I can fire an arrow at it, but do you know what? In fact, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to pull my bow and arrow off my back, but I'm going to turn to Jet and say, "What the fuck is that?"
I don't know. I would need to make a roll to find out what it is. No.
Okay, yeah. Make me an Arcana.
I'll open my eyes to that when he's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
16.
You could also make a an Arcana here, as well as as like a reaction. Varsha.
8. 19.
Yeah, Varsha. You notice that these. It's hard to say what they actually are, but I think you know that for a moment you start to then focus more on what's happening, and you do see that this lightning is, and the warding wind that you have thrown into this scene is either interacting strangely with the Spellwind itself, or the Spellwind has sparked these motes into this existence.
Got it. Okay.
If nobody answers me, I fire a fucking arrow at it then.
Okay.
A wild arrow to see what happens if I fire this thing into this thing.
Try.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it has metal on it, by the way. I'm not actually trying to do damage to it. I'm trying to like fire an arrow to see if it conducts some electricity
Yeah.
But
through the arrowhead and then sends it away.
so I think.
Is that you doing that, Varsha? What is that?
No, it's not me. I think it's from the Spellwind. That arrow will have disadvantage, I think. I'm so sorry. But if it has to pass through the ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wind.
Yeah.
But it works the same
I
way
hesitate
back as
before
well.
I fire it, but then
Yeah.
I say, "What's that?"
Yeah, so Cord, just to clarify, I know it's a magical thing that has been created by the storm, right?
Yes.
But I don't necessarily know. Okay.
Yes.
Then I will answer you, Ty, and I will say, like, I don't know. I think it was created by the storm. It's definitely arcane magic. It's definitely Puck, and I think I'm a little stunned. And that's probably where I leave it.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna lower my bow. I'm not gonna fire an arrow randomly at it. I don't know what it's gonna do. So I will literally just lower the bow and turn to them. They're all arcane users, and I'll just say, "All right, we'll deal with it." Just to
I'll
the
try
three
and
of them,
ground it out.
and I'll end my turn.
Next turn is the Spark's turn. So these motes of energy there are these three of them. There was one that was 5 feet from you, one 10 with a couple of crowd in the way, and then one on the other end of the ship. They start to dance around as they start to get closer to one another. And as they do for the moment, they start to, lightning starts to then reach out and zap a couple of these people as it weaves through, and like almost as if it's trying to hide through the crowd. These motes are like ducking and dodging. You could see the ambient light coming from the glowing orbs and shadow as it then starts to dance across as they weave through the legs and up through up toward behind some of the crowd as the crowd screams as the lightning reaches out, attacks some of them. You do hear screams from the crowd. Ah! 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 And one person you do see tense up and pass out. And Jet, you notice that it could be probably some sort of shock, obviously shock, but I mean like some sort of immediate trauma that would, like muscle tension that has seized this person's body as they sort of fall to the ground. Another person starts to cry out in discomfort as they've been shocked as well, as these two orbs start to dance toward each other. It is, yeah, and that's going to be their turn as they start to then attack some of the crowd here.
So the one that's within 5 feet of me,
Yes.
I will react and attack it, which is my new sentinel feat
Okay.
from this last level up.
Okay. I did in my mind, but I didn't clarify it. I was like, you can make your Arcana as a reaction.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So you wouldn't be able to use your reaction this round, but after your turn,
Next round.
you can use that as a reaction. Yeah. So, but it does as it dances away. Smith, you are up next.
All right. I think I'm gonna try and ground these things out.
Okay.
How far is the closest one to me?
As it dances through the area, it is now 6 feet away from you, just out of square reach.
All right. Well, I think I get my gauntlets ready,
Okay.
like I normally would to use a shocking grasp spell. But I don't power them up.
Okay.
The crystals that normally give me the power to cast this spell, probably very similar to the crystals that we've encountered thus far.
We've done this once before, episode 2, I think, with the pylons under the Walden mill. So we have seen you harness and rein in electricity before. Okay.
I'm going to, much like I did back then, sort of just try and grab this thing and ground out the electricity.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an attack. I'm not sure which attack you're thinking here, but I'll take. I trust you.
I'll do my normal shocking grasp attack. How's that?
That's fair.
24.
24 does hit as a spark from your gauntlets then meet up with theirs, or meet up with the orb as well. For a moment, you're able to then rein in, kind of like an upset bird of prey as you're trying to grab it, as it's trying to it's trying to fight away from your grip and grasp. As you're able to then spurt a charge and are able to then grasp. You are now holding one of these. For all intents and purposes, you are now holding one of these orbs. It is not doing damage to you, but you are able to contain it, at least for now.
Does it dim at all? Does it look any different?
It does dim, yes.
All right.
I got one of them.
Okay.
Can you contain it? Trap it somehow?
Don't know. I'm gonna try and ground it out like we did with the pillars. I don't know how much energy it has, though. Might be too much for the suit.
Starts to then, you are fighting with it as it then starts to then crackle and arc. Smaller lightning bolts start to reach out almost like in panic as this thing tries to react and hit anything that is conductive. But the power of your suit, the magnetism or whatever one may have you of the technology in your gauntlets, I would assume several magnets inside the gauntlets would gyrate and create a electromagnet that would then probably attract a lot of the conductive energy as these lightnings, these small bolts try to reach out and attack you in your face. You're able to hold it back, but it reaches forward but then arcs back towards your gauntlets as your gauntlets are then attracting a lot of that lightning. The dimming fluctuation does happen as you're holding on to it for these mere moments. Anything else on your turn?
That's it.
Okay. Arsha, it is now your turn. As you start to then take an assessment of the situation and see what is going on, as Smith grabs one of these balls of lightning as the crowd starts to scream in pain and discomfort. And still, the wind's whipping through your hair, dancing on your face as you start to see people's eyes and faces start to sink in with age as the wind rips through the area, as indicating you are getting closer and closer through or to the storm.
Sorry, I'm trying to decide if she would be. It's not necessarily smart enough because I don't know how magic works in this world, but like I don't want to hit this fucking electric thing with a sword because I feel like I'm going to electrocute myself.
Right.
But I don't know if Arsha cares. I think she would try anyway.
Yeah. Been pretty brave so far.
Yeah, so we'll do it.
Okay.
The one that's 5 feet in front of me. 13.
A 13 as you go to attack it misses as lightning dances across the blade. You do feel a shock for a moment. Your hair goes up for a second and goes against the wind as static flows through you, but not enough to hurt you. As you miss.
Ooh. Okay. Careful using iron.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Or steel. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm so tired.
Okay. Iron, steel, it's all the same, sort of. All right, and then you're still conductor. So yeah, now it's your turn, Jet.
Okay, I am just going to pull out my crossbow. I got a new one after the events of everything else. I got it from one of the crew members. I remember I asked for one. And I'm going to just try and shoot it with a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Okay.
You take out your crossbow and fire.
3 points of piercing damage on one of the ones towards the back that is, I guess attacking the people on the crew.
Okay. You go to fire, and the bolt does pierce through and sticks to the wall behind, and you do see it dim for a moment, but then starts to gather a lot of its energy again and still dances through the area.
That's a crit fail for damage there.
I know. So the top of the round, I need everybody as you start to look around towards the room and you start to, and again, assess the situation as the boat then starts to, you start to see distortion. The walls seem to then lens and cave in on themselves for a moment, and the wind starts to then, as the walls like bow and cave in for that moment, and that lensing feeling of distortion starts to happen. Cracks will then spread and widen as the slats of these boards of this ship start to open up, and as they do, more of this dark energy starts to then rush through. As it does, I need all of you to make a Constitution save.
$17.
Okay.
10.
10 from
18.
Jet an 18, 10 from Ty, and Varsha with an 18 as well. So you all are able to, except for Ty, are able to withstand this moment. Ty,
I'll never know why he rolls his dice on the ground. He should just get like
On
a
the-
table or something.
I'm reading the book. You take 9 force damage as this energy starts to then press against your sides and your psyche as 9 damage rings out as you're trying to hold you're trying to hold your own psyche as a piercing headache starts to then seethe into the middle of your mind as you start to see everything then lens and distort that moment as you take the 9 force. Top of the round, though, Ty, it is your turn.
Ow, fuck you. And now I will fire my arrow since I've now seen Jet fire a thing. I'm like,
Okay.
that must work.
Okay.
I guess he's doing it.
Is the warding wind still up? Isn't that
Yes.
with the disadvantage?
Yes.
Was his thing not with disadvantage?
It was not, so I will roll again, because I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I also did
a
too.
12.
Yeah, you would have missed.
Oh, okay.
But it's still
Also 12.
it still passes through. Okay, so with the 12, you fire and it dances around the area, and it doesn't seem like it actually. It doesn't dim at all, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of reaction as your bolt or whatever it is your projectile is sticks into the wall behind.
Well, it's 10 feet. So, like,
Yes.
are we all still... We would be literally crouched to... Like, it makes sense when we're all sitting in a pile holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
But if we stand up and get ready for combat, I think I can only hold 2 people in this thing. So we should decide who's in here. Right?
Sure.
It's only 10
Why
feet.
not?
That's
Okay.
true.
Well,
Yeah,
I rolled with
you-
disadvantage,
Yeah.
so we'll say it was me, and I'll step
Yeah.
out of it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
Smith
I'm
would
here
have
still.
moved. Okay. Okay, so make you fire. Anything
Did
else
that
on your
ward
turn?
me from the fucking damage of the thing, though?
To be
What does
fair,
it do?
It does not ward you from.
it's 20-foot diameter.
Hold on, I mean,
A lot of people get that.
yeah.
So we could be
Confused.
all in it then. Okay, that's fine.
Let's take a look at this warding thing.
That's wonderful.
I don't even know what it is.
It's basically just like a windshield
Yeah, no, this is.
around us. Yeah.
It is not
Fucking awesome.
a physical thing that is happening. Okay.
Face the wind, bitch.
Anything else on your turn, Ty?
Nope.
Okay. These two.
I mean, I will move. I'm moving out of
Okay.
this.
You're moving out of
bullshit.
the wind. The
Yeah,
wind,
yeah,
wind
yeah.
wall. Okay. As you make your way out of the wind wall, any direction is fine. These two motes start to then dance through the crowd again. They find each other, and as they do, they grow into a larger moat. One now, instead of the two that are across, there is one that is dancing through the ship, trying to find the source of something as it swims through the crowd, arcing. Doesn't deal any damage to anybody this round, though, but it does merge itself to another, creating one larger moat. A lot of people are screaming in panic as they start to then recede against the walls and away from one another. But that is the sparks or the moat's turn. Smith, it is your turn as you are containing one of these.
Is this thing still dimming as I'm holding on to it?
Yes,
Point
it is.
being,
Yes, it is.
there do I have some sort of indication that this thing is somehow losing its energy
This,
by me holding on to it?
yeah, as you are able to, give me an Arcana check as you are trying to control this thing, as you are trying to use your gauntlets to then harness and ground what it is that you are doing. Yeah, with
19.
ease, as for a moment you are able to just close your hands together, and as you do, forcing your hands through the magnetic field that is being created by your gauntlets, with just sheer strength, you're able to then push through, and then as you do, the magnets spin, and you're able to extinguish this one mote. The two still have merged into that one, but that was good, because that would have been.
Once this one is done, then I think I'll look at the next one and rush over to that one.
Okay. And you sort of make your way over towards this larger spark now, probably the size of a doorway or a small window, or a window, as it's large. Sort of, there is a space created as people have backed away and receded away from it, as this is trying to tear and rip through whatever is happening here.
I'm assuming I'm not able to grab this one on this turn,
At this
so
turn.
I'm just getting myself ready to
Okay.
grab this one.
Marsha, it is your turn as you see these two motes gather together.
Okay, and they didn't. The one that was within 5 feet of me didn't attack anybody else out other than me this turn, did they? Because I think they're like forming together, right? Because I don't know what technically counts as an attack. Like, I don't know if that Constitution check was them
No.
doing something.
That was
okay.
that was like a layer action. That wasn't.
Okay.
That was just sort of what's happening with the storm.
Then I am going to. One of them is already within 15 feet of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Smith is holding one, and then there's another one that is how far away?
I've extinguished one of them,
One of them is
Okay,
extinguished.
got it.
And now there's one about 15 feet from you, and it's
and
it's a
I'm rushing
larger one
over
now.
there to grab that one.
Two
Oh, you are?
became stuck
Yeah.
together.
Yep. Okay.
It was one.
Two
Two
became
become
one.
one. Thank you.
Two of them became one, PB.
I know.
PB.
I'm gonna lightning lure it.
Okay.
Yeah, supercharge it, you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
You create a lash of lightning energy that strikes at one creature of your choice. You see within 15 feet of you. The target must receive a strength or be pulled.
And I may heal it. I don't know. If it were a Final Fantasy game, this would heal it. But I also just kind of want to know.
Yep. Okay. I have to make a I think a strength save.
Yep.
Makes it, breaks it.
Got it.
So, what does your lightning lash look like?
I don't think I've used this yet.
you
So
have either.
I think it's, yeah. So I think it's actually that purple lightning that we see for her booming blade. But I like the idea that it looks like a lightning strike where you see it just for a moment and then it disappears, but it looks like a skeletal claw that reaches out to try to grab it, and then it's like it's just a lightning strike,
Yeah,
but
it's in the
got
shape.
that.
It
Yeah.
arcs in the shape of a skeletal claw, a purple
Yeah.
lightning skeletal claw, as you try to grasp it. Okay. The skeletal arcane claw reaches forward and is not quick enough as the moat dances up and out of the way, almost like it saw it coming, or almost as if it knew the path that it was going to create, as it sort of dances out of the way.
Yep. And that's it for me.
All right. Jet, it is your turn. A larger, probably. Well, now I should probably just give it about a 5-foot spark in the area, as Barsha tried to grasp it with an arcane grip and missed.
Okay, I am going to step out, and I'm going to look to Mr. Tai, and I'm going to try and do what he does. I'm going to pull out my gun blade and attack
Okay.
with a slice at it for a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
6 points of piercing damage.
Hey,
And
So-
then I'm...
you charged this lightning thing and attacked it?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. Just wanted to.
And then I'm running out with my dagger as well to attack again with a 7, and I fall short.
Okay. Nice. Pretty cool. So you see, Jet drops the crossbow at his feet, takes out a gunblade and a dagger, and dances forward a bit clumsily as you swim through some of the crowd. But you then meet next to, I guess, shoulder to shoulder with Smith as you then start to swipe through, and you do feel a shock or a spark of static as your blade then passes through, dealing some damage to this creature. As
There's definitely like a shocked, I mean, excuse the pun expression
I know.
on Smith's face beyond the mask, because Jet is in the midst of combat.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
is
Less
Hell
of
yeah.
a dance towards it, it's more of a purposeful stagger instead, because of the, I can't dance like Mr. Tai.
Right. It's more of a purposeful lunge.
Yes,
Awesome. Anything else?
panic?
Okay. I'll need a Constitution save from everybody as the top of the round happens.
I thought because I was panicking.
A lensing distortion starts to happen again.
19.
Okay. Jet with a 21, that is a pass. 19 is a pass. Varsha, I need a Constitution save, and Ty,
23.
you take another 9 damage as that splitting headache happens again.
It's the most damage I've taken ever.
As it's starting to really, really suck. As it starts to like.
Does this count as an attack or no?
This is not an attack.
Okay.
This is not an attack. This is the storm. So there's like.
Oh, Jesus.
So there's the storm that you're passing through, and then there's this entity that you're fighting during it. And so this
is amazing.
So this is the storm acting. So it's like a layer action. So that happens at the top of the round while you're passing through it. So the top of the round is still now your turn, Ty. As you have this splitting headache for a moment, you try to shake it off. It's hard to do as there's a moment of like a headache, and like it's. Oh boy, I hate to do this to you, Brad, but it's like you're coming on to having a migraine. You get a lot of those symptoms as distortion starts to happen, and aura then rings around, and it's hard. It's very uncomfortable, obvious, and then for a moment, it's like a dagger is being buried between your eyes and twisted, and as it gets pulled out, you're then pulled back into reality, and you're able to shake it off for a moment, just enough time to attack.
Oh boy. Fuck. Fire a short bow. 15.
Okay. A 15 misses as it goes through the spark again and isn't able to, doesn't dim or anything, but it does stick to the wall behind it. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay. All right. It is the spark's turn. So now there's 2 people next to it. Let me see. So Jet, it is going to attack you with one of its lightning tendrils. I need you to make a charisma save. I have charisma.
A charisma saving throw.
Hold on. It is not. I think it's dexterity. Make a dex saving throw.
7.
Okay. As you take 6 points of lightning damage as one of these lightning arcs
Okay.
zaps you for 6 damage. Okay, and that's going to be that's turn because it's only 1 spark now. It is the no, it's not. Where's my initiative? So many things.
Should be my turn.
It is your turn.
Yeah, Chet, look out!
One of the errant sparks hits Jet, and then I immediately rush forward and try and grab this thing again and try and ground it out.
Okay. Okay.
That's only a 10, though.
You go to grab it. It does. A cloud of shocks start to, or electricity starts to then branch out and to obscure your vision as you go to grab it. It is much brighter than the last mote, and you are unable to find the center of this spark or the mote or whatever it is that you were able to then grasp before. You are unable.
Grab it, Chet, look out!
As your hands pass through it.
I'm trying!
Okay, Varsha, it is your turn. Unless there's anything else, Whack, that you need to do for Smith.
No.
Okay,
I think
Barsha.
that's gonna be it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do Varsha's Pain, please.
Mm-hmm.
And the target must make an intelligence saving throw. DC 15.
Roll a 16 on the die.
God damn it. That's it for me then.
Anything else on a
Nope.
pass? Okay.
Uh
Half damage or anything?
oh, actually on a oh wait, hold on. On a successful save, target takes half. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay. Six damage. 6 psychic damage.
Oh, interesting. All right. Cool. As what did you attack with? What was it?
It's a spell, Varsha's Pain. So it's
Okay.
she'll reach out and it's the weird
It is like that
fucked
spike,
up
right?
sworn one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a spike of psychic energy. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able to reach out. You close your eyes and you thrust forward a thought of pain or trauma or something
Yeah,
from your
mark.
path as you're able
Mark
to.
lights up.
Yeah, your mark lights up. The rune on your face indicating that you are sanctioned, or your magic is sanctioned in the kingdom of Evervale. As you throw a thought towards this creature, for a moment, you receive back, or while you throw it, almost like the thought that you're trying to experience seems to crackle with like static interruption as you then throw it forward, and as you deal 6 damage to it. That's awesome. Cool. All right. The creature doesn't seem to react, but in your mind, something must have happened. That's never happened
Okay.
before for you. Jet, it is your turn unless Barsha has anything else on hers.
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay.
I turned to Ty to see how damaged he is. How are you looking?
I don't know if I look like anything because this is all just headache pain, is it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've probably seen me like grip my head and react to it, fire an arrow and then do the exact same thing, maybe stumble backwards since I was moving out of the thing. But I don't know if it necessarily looks like anything to you, but I've definitely been affected by something and seem to be, I guess I would probably be struggling and like wincing at pain, but not really anything that you would see, right? So I don't know.
Okay. In that case, I am going to... It's not normal for Tai to not be able to do much in battle, so something is wrong here. So in this moment, you're going to see this vial that's on my robe, that's kind of like just perched there, unfurl and flap towards Tai. And as it does, the liquid inside goes from a violet to a green. And the cork is going to come off, and it's just going to fly in front of his face. And before he says it's going to like go into his mouth, and it's going to try and force drink him a cure wounds.
Yeah, so Violet comes over and uncorks her head and sticks the bottleneck down your throat and tries to force feed you a heal. It's super hot.
7 points of healing damage.
Okay.
Okay. That was not nice, but I appreciate the fact that it is an aspirin, and as soon as this thing is finished force feeding me Calpol, if one in America has any idea what that is, I will no idea. I will shake my head, look at Jet, scowl, and then smile, and I'm probably already knocking another arrow.
Okay. In this turn, I think that was my action. So I'm going to now... 1 second. I'm going to now... Bonus actions. Smile at the electric thing in front of me, and that's my turn.
Okay. You do hear in the crowd at this point.
You not stupid!
And breaching through the crowd with a stone cutlass is Buttocks, as Buttocks joins the battle because finally I have stats for him.
Yeah, no, I don't accept this, and it is not real, and it is some Spellstorm bullshit.
It's got to
and
be a
it's trick.
Spellstorm thing. It's really interesting when he does. He screams in a rage. He steps forward, and as he does, and as he joins and through the crowd, like I said, he then you start to see where there are these cracks and splinters that have been starting to appear on the wood, and also maybe a pillar next to the pillar closest to, or the mast, I guess, is a pillar. The mast where Buttocks is, you start to see it then start to grow bark and have like a knot on it, as if it was not a shaved tree to make or a hewn mast, but in fact a tree trunk, as roots from this tree trunk then start to grip and try to grasp and rip toward this mote of energy, because he's a wild magic barbarian. So he's going to then swipe with his stone cutlass, and he's going to miss. His stone cutlass sinks into the boards next to, and then he looks at you and goes,
I'm not on the lumber, you fuck!
tries to defend his ship. And the top of the round happens, and I need everybody to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
And Buttocks did not
Come on.
make it.
Wow, 3 again.
17.
Okay.
Ty is me. I have fucking migraines all the time, dude.
23.
Susceptible to migraines.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with my roll 20. It says it's rolling, so just give it a sec.
Okay, great. Yeah, so anybody, once again, Smith, Varsha, this time
12.
you take 9 points of this force damage as it enters into your psyche. It can also be psychic damage. But either way, as you also start to get this searing pain between the eyes, and then it starts to then push as if someone is taking a dagger between your eyes and twisting it just for a moment, and as it's being pulled out, you're brought back into reality. The distortion and the lensing and the collapsing of the walls around you then start to then even out.
You said
as
9, right?
9 points.
Yeah, okay.
As the top of the round starts, Ty, it is your turn.
Ow. A stumbling sideways again as I grab at my head, and then continue the hand backwards, pull another arrow, and fire towards the thing. Whatever it is. 14.
14.
miss.
It misses as the arrow flies through it. Okay.
That is it. I got
All right.
nothing else for you.
Okay.
Stumbling around with a migraine right now.
Oh, all right. Their turn. It is going to attack Buttocks.
Now I can react.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, you can.
I would like to do that.
Tendril starts to then arc and charge forth.
Let me just read this one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Melee weapon attack. Got it. Please don't electrocute me. 24.
That hits.
Okay, 9 damage.
Okay. 9 damage.
Suddenly, Varsha makes the Metal Gear electrocution sound.
So a large.
I actually think she'd just tank it. She'd just take it anyway. So we'll
So-
see.
So with this reaction, you can take the damage, or you can.
No, with this
just
reaction,
attack.
if it's crazy awesome,
Okay, yeah,
it
explain.
is. Yeah, sure. So it does a couple of things for those listening. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed will become 0 for the rest of the turn. It can't run.
Cool.
Creatures provoke opportunity of attack from you, even if they disengage before leaving your space. And when a creature within 5 feet of you attacks somebody other than you, you can use your reaction to attack them.
Nice.
So
Okay.
yeah, she's just basically a meat shield.
Yep. Okay. As you strike forward with your sword. As you strike forward with your sword, you're able to then, you start again once to feel that that static electricity as you do find some sort of center of this bright light, this mote of energy. As you strike through it, you do feel that static once again in your mind as you do, as it sort of confirms that you have made some sort of strike on it. Unfortunately, though, you are going to take 3 points of lightning as you hold the steel through it. It does still take that 9 damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Also, a question.
Answer.
So I have Warcaster feat as well.
Yes.
That basically allows me to, instead of doing a melee reaction, I can spellcast. Does that work with this as well? Do they stack? So like Sentinel gives me the ability when someone attacks somebody other than me within 5 feet, I get to attack it as a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then Warcaster would be...
Warcaster allows me to, instead of
only get
attack...
one.
No, I know,
only-
but I
later.
know. I'm wondering if it allows me to cast a spell instead of doing a melee attack.
Yeah, you'd be able
Yes.
to. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's pretty
They're,
sweet.
it's almost like 2 variations on the same feat.
Hell yeah. Okay, so, yeah, you're able to do that damage. Sweet. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
That was my reaction. Yeah.
That was your reaction. They're going to continue their strike onto... And not much
Buttocks.
damage, though, on buttocks. As for 5 damage, reaches out. Okay, and now it's your turn, Smith.
Yeah, I'm still trying to grab this thing.
Yeah.
$25.
25 hits. You do 6 lightning. Okay.
Just trying to contain this thing again and grab it and ground it out. It worked the first time. See if it works again.
It is much larger. Okay, yeah, so you're able to, you do find the moat. You're holding onto it with your hands. It's very bright still, though, as you're trying to at least harness some of the energy. Okay, I will make note of this.
That'll be it for my turn.
Okay, you are, as long as you are grappling it, it will have disadvantage. How's that?
All right.
Okay, Varsha, it is now your actual turn.
I will attack. Now that I know that this worked. 23.
Nice. Okay, you take another 3 damage as you strike forward. For another 9. Okay. Jet. You
It's
are
just
up.
the one enemy left, yes?
What was that?
The one enemy left, yes?
The one large
Okay.
spark and there's a crowd of people have backed up. They're not quite sure what to do.
Okay.
Some of them start to then. Never mind. Your turn. You continue, and I'll explain.
I'm
this
going
afterwards.
to turn to the thing again, and I'm going to try and just remember what Ty has been doing this entire time with his weapons. I'm going to swing with my gun blade for 13, and I don't know if that's going to hit or not. Probably not. So I'm going to then swing with my dagger for a 12, and that's not going to work. And okay, and then I kind of take a defensive step back, and I point. And then Violet is going to go flutter into the sky a tiny bit. The fluid inside the vial was gone after Ty sipped it, but it's now filling itself back up unknown. You know, like those dolls that have those bottles that refill when you so it does that. And then as it does, the violet liquid then turns into a steel gray. And then the entire vial seems to go opaque. The wings go up and it flies down towards the spark in an attack angle, and 1d20 plus 24 to hit.
24 hit?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hit.
And it does 4 points of, I guess it's just physical damage. Let me just double check. Of force strike damage as it flies into it.
Cool. All right. All right. So yeah, this Violet flies into it. That's happening.
It's a ranged weapon attack. Now that I've reread
Oh,
it, so
okay,
it doesn't Kirby into the thing. Instead, it starts to form up. It turns towards the target, and the cork just with the pressure hits the thing,
Okay, like
and then
a
rebounds
champagne
back.
bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
awesome. So yeah, you're able to, instead of Kirbying at it, you Yoshi at it, like you with a Yoshi tongue, is it? Bang.
Yes.
All right. So a cork flies forward, hits the energy. It then flies backward, and Violet is able to catch it as it flies in some random direction, dealing a bunch of damage to it, which is pretty sweet. The spark undulates in response, but Buttocks' turn as Buttocks goes to strike and then misses again. He actually has 2 attacks. What am I doing? And Stone Cutlass buries it into the ground, and then he lifts it up in a lunge and then a step up forward as goes to attack. It does strike for, and this isn't does shitty damage though, but it's fine. As the Stone Cutlass does catch into the moat of this thing. The top of the round starts, and as it does, you do start to see bolts of energy start to fly from a corner of the room as if magic missile is being cast. If those of you who have seen it, as you all sort of look, or maybe some of you look over, and one of the prisoners is casting magic missile as these 2 needles fly into the air and stick into the creature. Another blast of firebolt then sears through the air for a moment and splashes onto this creature as it hisses in a spark as 2 attacks fly out from the crowd. At the top of the round, though, I need everybody to make another Constitution save as you are still faring through this Spellstorm.
Failed again. No.
21.
No. Okay.
25.
Varsha, able to hold strong for a moment. Roll me a D6.
Can I heal it?
You can get temporary hit points from this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so give me,
You said
give me a
D6?
D6 temporary hit points. You get 1
One.
temporary hit point. But
Still, that's cool though.
Jet, you get 9 points of damage, force damage as it enters into your psyche. And Ty, you also take 9 points into your brain as force damage racks your frontal cortex and destroying who you are for only a moment, as you are used to it, 'cause it's just another migraine. And it's top of the round. It is Ty, your turn.
Well, I think the first thing that happens is I close my eyes fully and stumble one way before righting myself barely, shaking my head a moment and
Very obvious now, by the
fire.
way, that Ty is having a hard time.
I don't know if I'm near a wall or something, but if
Yeah.
I am, that's probably the only thing that stops me from falling
Yeah,
over.
you catch
You know,
yourself
when you
on
do that kind of
something.
just stumble, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my whole head probably feels like
Yeah.
it has been split open.
I think for a moment you
Um,
may have passed out, and then you fall backwards, and then your head and
Right.
shoulders hit the wall, and that sort of brings you back too as you remember where you are and what you're
come
doing. Yeah.
Back to. Since this is entirely mental damage, I am going to take this shot with disadvantage. Do you mind?
No, I don't. Take it. You can
I
take
have
inspiration from it, though.
Okay, thank you very much. It's an 11 and a miss as I just kind of fire wildly, I think,
Okay.
towards the thing. And, yeah, that feeling of, like kind of half passing out and then you come back to, but you continue to do the same thing that you were doing.
Yeah.
It kind of is all that happens there. And
Yeah,
then just
you're
let the
sort of
arrow go.
on
and it's
autopilot,
just-
and you don't want
Yeah.
anybody. It's like you're drunk, and you don't want anybody to know you're drunk. You're sort of going
Yeah.
through the motions, trying your best to cover it up.
Yeah, like when a boxer has been like
Yeah.
hit, but they haven't
still on
passed
they're
out,
still
but
on
they're
autopilot.
done.
Yeah.
They're gassed.
It's exactly it.
And then I slump against that wall for a second,
Oh.
and I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay. This creature lashes out and strikes Jet this time with one of its...
Disadvantage.
With disadvantage, thank you. With
I will also
a-
use my reaction after this.
Okay, it does miss. The arc just sort of goes towards Jet's direction, but doesn't actually grab onto anything conductive, as it just sort of tendrils into the air. But it is your reaction. As you go to strike with a 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you go to strike, and you're able to miss. I think the armored tendril and branch of this electricity goes forward toward you, and you dodge out of the way of that, but that was not enough for you to dodge and
Yeah.
make this successful attack.
Okay.
Okay, Smith, you are up. You can continue grappling this thing to keep it at a disadvantage, or you may do
I
something else.
am. I'm trying to keep this thing grappled, keep it contained, and hopefully eventually ground it out.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Give me your shocking grasp. We'll just use that as your grapple check. Okay. Cool.
24.
Awesome. So it starts to diminish a little bit as you are able to continue holding on to it and keep it in its space. It does try to move away from you, but you have held on to it. And as it does move for a moment, you see that one of these roots that have sort of erupted near the mast of this now tree-like mast sort of reaches up and grabs one of the tendrils and the lightning tendrils and pulls it back down, as if this tree or these roots are reacting towards this foe, this creature, almost as if it's sort of like entangling roots that Buttocks had to cast. Anyway, it is Varsha's turn. Right,
And
Smith,
I
anything
will-
else in yours, Smith?
That's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Okay, Varsha.
God damn it. 11. Oh, yep. 11.
Okay, you go to strike, and you miss as your hair starts to then lift for a moment. It was a graze, but not enough to actually strike. You feel, you start
Fucking
to
rolls,
smell
man.
that. You smell that ozone as you feel like you are getting close, but not enough to deal any damage towards it. Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Jet, your turn.
Okay. Do I notice Ty stumble?
Yes, I think it's very apparent that, and I think with Jet's mindset,
Basically fall over.
yeah,
I
with
think.
your mindset, Jet, you're like the triage, like medic. You always keep your eye out, I think, for this sort of signs of who is hurt, and
Okay.
you do see this happen as your spidey senses are tingling that he's hurt, and then that just confirmed it.
All right. I turn to Ty, and as I do, you see Violet in the air there just descend back down towards him, and the liquid in Violet goes from a violet again to a much deeper verdant green, and the cork is going to pop off, and I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds at level 2.
Okay.
So that's 2d8 plus 3 for Ty.
Okay.
You should be able to
So-
use Cure Wounds from your core page, and it'll ask you what level you'd like to cast it at.
Okay. Level 2, like so.
10.
Ish. Okay.
Nice. 10 health gets pumped into 10 healing damage gets pumped into Ty.
And healing damage.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I kind of accept that
Okay.
this time
And-
without any begrudging looks.
But but wait, there is more. As for my bonus action, I am going to cast a healing word, which is, narratively speaking, I'm just focusing and concentrating on Violet, and as that's happening,
Yeah.
there is more potion inside it than like it looked like to begin with. So that's going to be another 5 points of healing.
So for a total of 15.
Wonderful. All right, I'm alive again.
Nice. Okay, anything else, Jet? Movements?
No, I am just going to. In fact, I'm going to run towards Ty
Okay. Yeah.
and try and encode this reaction from the thing.
Great. Okay, so it doesn't take tax opportunity, Marcia,
Okay.
does it? Because it's
Um,
going to make an attack of opportunity on Jet now because Jet's moving away from its range. So what is the...
no, it's that it will always provoke one from me. So it
Okay.
can still try to attack
Okay,
Jet.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it reaches out.
Can it? It's grappled?
No, you can't do an attack of opportunity and an attack of opportunity. I think because of the nature of the, it's not.
It is grappled.
I think
you're right.
it-
It wouldn't be able to...
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I go to Ty scot-free.
Okay, and you make it over there. Okay, Buttix attacks. Buttix has 2 attacks.
Come on, but
One is a clap.
Hits twice. That's really good damage. That's axe damage. Wow. Wow. That wasn't resistant. He would have done 30 damage. That was nuts. Okay, as he strikes
holy
forward,
shit.
and he goes up with a, he steps forward with a thrust, and he is just not happy about the longbow in danger as he, as lightning then arcs forward, splashes into the air as he cuts through it for a moment and then back downward and chops. It is, that was cool. Yeah, great. The NPC did something cool, great. But the crew, or the prisoners here, you start to see again magic missiles fly through the air, and 2 needles fly up into the air and attack this, and then a firebolt off in the distance as well. Firebolt splashes off in the corner of like maybe the ceiling of this of the boat as flames just harmless warmth washes over you as the firebolt misses, but the two magic missiles hit. This creature is very dim, but still fighting. Top of the round, though. I need everybody to make another Constitution save as everything sort of distorts. Again.
13.
I think as I
25.
see
Another 20 from
I
Basha.
think as I see this happening. Oh, I guess this would fit. All right. As I see this, whatever this wave of energy that comes across again happens, I'm hearing Ty sort of getting beaten up, and I look his way as this wave of energy happens again, and I say, Ty, just bear with it. Keep your mind together. And I use a flash of genius to add 4 to his roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
Just get over your headache.
And in the process, I take the damage instead.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Oh,
he saved with that
right.
now.
He does
With a
save
17.
with that.
Yeah.
Well done. Well,
Nice.
great use of Flash of Genius as your intelligence modifier is added in reaction to a party member's roll or your own. So awesome. Well
That's
done.
so cool.
You were able to then, as the reaction, help him out. And I think just him saying your name is like that token that you bring through the journey of consciousness as you're able to find your footing again and stay conscious for the moment. You're able to shrug off the headache that you feel and know is coming. Maybe it's because you now have context for when it's about to happen. But when Smith says your name, it is something you grab onto and you focus on, and that grounds you for the moment.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you
And
take
for
the
those-
9? Okay.
I'm going to take the 9.
Okay, all right. So you take the 9. And Jet, you as well. And Barsha?
I'm just letting people know I rolled another nat 20, which means I replace my 1 temporary hit point with
Yeah.
6 because
'Cause it doesn't stack.
she absorbs it. And I like to think that it, you can't really see it with her armor, but the hairs on her arms and stuff like stand up, almost like she's, and then she just absorbs it in, and we maybe see a little bit of that like purple electricity in tiny amounts across her skin, almost like a net of armor, and then it disappears. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, top of the round, so that means, Ty, it's your turn. As you sort of make it through this moment. You made it out the other end.
I cartoonishly, like, shake my head for a moment and focus my vision on the thing, and I will attempt to fire the the short bow at it again. On a 23 this time.
That's a hit.
Grand total of 20 piercing damage, as the arrow will just fly true.
So, tell me how you destroy this creature as Smith is holding it.
I'm so happy
in this moment.
He shouts at me, and it grounds me and gives me also not just like a grounding moment from the Spellwind just messing with me. Maybe kind of like he's probably just like losing his sense of reality almost as well. And I hear Smith shout, and I think just in that moment I'm able to not just pinpoint him, but the thing itself, and I'm grounded enough. I kind of shake my head a moment. I just sight the thing up, and with it's just a singular moment of clarity. I just release the arrow, and it hits the thing. I don't know what it does to it though, Myth.
Okay.
As the arrow actually strikes the...
Yeah, as the arrow strikes, it does. It's the first arrow that you shot that sticks, right? And as it does, and it could be the inspiration or the motivation or the flash of genius, whatever Ty may call it, that Smith had said to him. But you're able to focus, and you're able to at least fight through the pain. And you close one eye. You probably close two of them, and then you open one. And as you open one, you already have your shot lined up. You launch the arrow, it sticks, and the arrow disappears into the creature. The creature, a ripple of white light, almost like, for those who have ever seen, like a transformer blow. Sometimes there's a sheet of white energy that just sort of goes through the ship. It's terrifying, but that happens here. As a sheet of white radiance goes through all the... ethereally goes through all of the parts of the ship, and the moat is gone. The whims of the warding start to then die down, and you feel this distortion again, but it's weaker now, as you start to sense, and each one of you start to sense that you're almost through the eye of whatever storm this is, and we're going to go to break.
Can we just talk about really quickly the Smith and Ty teamwork that just happened, because I'm like freaking out. It was they wanted to kill each other in the beginning, and then
I was aiming for him.
I was aiming for him.
Yeah, the music was just to make the transition easier, because the arrow passed through the thing and like hit me in the chest.
It went through your chest and out and killed the thing, and it was like the beginning of Face Off.
Exactly.
Shoots that.
All right, so we're going to go to break. We do have something to show off here, so we will be back here in a moment. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out, and we'll see you right after this. Bye, and we'll see you in a bit. Be right back.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers.
So much has changed in a year, but not everything.
We join the crew of the longbow hours later. Time is hard, though, to judge whether it's hours or days. It seemed to crawl at moments when the wind was blowing through, and it also seemed to have speed up when the crackles of static and lightning would spider throughout the atmosphere of the space that was wherever the longbow was. Still waters greet the morning. Clear skies greet what we would call the morning as Geoloon starts to crest over the horizon. Blue waters of the Jade Sea reflect back as you all start to make your way out of the hold of the ship. Storm behind you. Clouds gather in the wake of the storm, but up ahead, clear skies.
No sign of any other storm.
Please tell me that's over.
Did anybody die?
Seems like it. That the storm's over.
I think I almost did.
What happened?
Yeah, it felt like something was fucking tearing my head open from the inside. You didn't feel like that?
I look
Not
around the
really.
boat for the injured.
I think if you were to look around the boat for the injured, you would have not left onto the main deck. There are several injured underneath. Those who are injured suffer from various electrical burns, as well as some who are complaining about a blurred vision and symptoms of different sort of migraine. As their heads has been splitting, they are having a really hard time. They're sensitive with light. It's too loud. It's just there's a lot of that those kind of symptoms as you are trying to treat some of these people. It varies anywhere between that as well. There's these electrical burns as well as this psychic pounding that Ty had to endure.
Did anybody receive permanent effects of the aging that we saw, or was it gone?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Arcana 11.
Not that you've noticed.
Okay. At this point in time, I haven't been triaging. I'm still with the party. This would have been like a cursory thing as they were going towards the surface to see what's going on. I wouldn't have broken up with the party just yet.
Okay. Moments later, Captain Buttocks approaches.
So we got some, we're looking at the map. And judging based off, I don't know where we are. Seems like we drifted a bit during the storm.
Okay.
Not
So
sure if
just
we were going the same sort of way, then that means we
look
were
up.
probably going west.
in that way. Alright, so figure out which way south and go that way.
You're right.
Everything we want is south, isn't it?
That's fine, we could do it.
He turns and walks away back towards the helm. You see him then spin the helm, and then the boat slowly then starts to, over like a little bit of a delay, starts to then react as the boat then starts to turn and make its direction toward assumingly south.
I don't know how to figure out which way south on Earth, let alone the fact that the poles are all twisty-turny
The sun.
here. The sun is...
The sun
not-
is
so I don't-
always beaming from the south. We're polarly locked
So you
towards
just
the
head
south. So
towards
just
the
head
south.
towards whatever
I mean,
whatever
the
the
sun.
eternal light is, which is always the sun. So he just heads towards, and from, I think, where you are, because depending, of course, where you are on Hearth is where and how high the sun would be off the horizon, right? So I think here it's a bit difficult because you don't see the sun. You do see light shining from some direction, and the most light, or like a setting sun, right? So the setting sun that is eternally in this direction, he turns the boat toward. So I guess the pinkest part of the sky, now that the clouds have cleared. From east to west, Geoloon does orbit, and that is in the refractions of Geoloon's, the light from the sun into Geoloon is what gives that whitewash of day. Or it's like if the sun here on Earth gives us a tungsten light, or like that warm light. The Geoloon gives more of a halogen white light. If that sort of makes sense. So Geoloon is just starting to make its crest, which would be the moon, but here on Hearth we would call it day.
I mean, that's all I will say to him is just head
Yeah.
south, and then I will
Boat starts to lurch towards that.
continue to nurse my headache with a cigarette, which would not work, but it's what I am doing.
Okay.
I imagine that I'm just trying to get the griffins sorted out.
Yeah, the griffins start to make their way. They trot in place as they start to. It's just this uncomfortable walk as you bring them out from the bottom of the deck, or the belly of the ship, as they then make their way
Hey, don't
out.
eat that.
And almost as
Don't eat that.
soon as you bring them out, I need you to make a strength check. As they start to get excited and their wings start to flap and they rear up on their haunches. And one of them, you lose your grip of the
It's a
straps,
9.
as the 9 reflects here, as you are able to, as you lose grip and it breaks free from your grasp and then jumps off the ship and then catches a gust of wind and then starts to fly and start spreading its wings. The other one, in excitement, starts to do the same thing. It bursts out and then jumps and flies around the area as well, trying to at least get some sort of exercise. They do sort of chase each other for a moment, and then one lands on top of the masts for a moment as they start to then expel some of that cooped up energy that they had down in the belly of the ship. During that.
I just shake my head and I turn. I think I've been a little curious actually. Since this happened with those sparks. I got the griffins back onto the deck, and everybody seems mostly okay. Jed is taking care of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now that that's all sort of taken care of, I think I'd be looking at my suit and my gauntlets. I'm a little curious to see if anything was damaged in the process, and I want to make sure the crystals are still working.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me an Arcana as you're starting to inspect the technology that is your gauntlets. Another 11 for Arcana. So you notice you ward them up, you charge them, and you try to at least see if there's anything off balance. I feel like because of these magnets that are inside, you do feel it's like that. It's like that centrifugal force of a bike wheel. You know, when you spin a bike wheel and you try to like move it, it's got that weird force that wants to correct itself. That sort of happens with your gauntlets as the spinning magnetism starts to then power and attract the energy that is the crystal. But you turn them on and you start to then guide your hands through the air and try to struggle with this spin or this centrifugal force, and you notice nothing really is different as you charge and inspect. Your suit seems to be fine.
All right. Suppose probably make my way back towards Varsha then.
Okay.
Where's Varsha at this time? Probably just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. On the top, and relieved that,
Yeah.
you know, for the most part, we're okay. And I'm really curious as to being so far off of course when I didn't feel anything, you know, like it's not like we were Dorothy, you know, and
Right,
spiraling up into the sky.
Right.
So it's just,
You
it's
did
intriguing.
feel a lot of rocking, and
Yeah,
there was a lot
yeah.
of fighting. There was a lot of that lurching.
Yeah.
But as far as Varsha goes, how many times has she traveled a large distance on a ship? Would that be something naturally that she'd be like, oh, we traveled X, Y, and Z? Would she know that?
I don't know. I think when he came over and said we're super far off course,
Yeah.
I think she's probably thinking about it. I think she's
Yeah.
wondering. When she looked
How
at the
far?
eye of the storm, it made her feel a little uncomfortable, kind of like the abyss, and calling a
Yeah.
little bit. I think.
Yeah.
Where she was very curious as to what might happen if they were to pass through it. And I know that she's been thinking about something that Brother Sykes said since he said it. And he mentioned something about I can't remember the exact word that he used. It wasn't rift, but it was something like there is a thing of darkness. And she didn't understand what he was talking about, but I think that thought came to mind when she saw this storm eye.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just something that she's thinking about, I think, when Smith walks up.
Sure.
Well, the Griffins decided to go off on their own for a little while, I'm guessing. Too cooped up during that storm.
Yeah. Probably
Any
orienting
news?
themselves. No, I don't. No. What kind of news?
Well, if we knew where we were or
Oh,
how
no,
far
not
we
yet.
were from shore.
Just very off course, as far as I know.
So did you, what did you make of that Spellstorm?
I don't know. What is it, like a pooling of energy? Like, how is it created? Where did it come from? Are there more of them? I've been thinking a lot of things. Is it only on the open seas? If so, why? Does it follow the same ley line? You know, like maybe it's just maybe it's all related or connected somehow. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that before. And those creatures, whatever they were born of it. But they had consciousness, sort of. They were thinking, moving on their own.
I'm gonna again sort of look down at my gauntlets and the crystals and whatnot. I look back towards Varsha. Yeah.
Like, the implications there are a little uncomfortable. Is this where all Spellkin come from?
Don't know. Think it was anything like that water elemental?
Maybe.
I find it to be a rather strange coincidence that such a thing would happen to this fleet at the time that it did.
What are you saying?
You mentioned that everything might be tied together, Varsha. Ley lines, power. I've been wondering what it is that the God King wants with these sites. What they do. And if there's some kind of weapon. Are they tied to the Spellwind? Spellkin? Just imagine if the God King could use these Spellstorms to eliminate his enemies. What if it wasn't just a coincidence?
I don't know if I can afford to think about that right now.
Probably just me worrying.
You've never really been wrong before.
I've been wrong plenty of times, Varsha.
Not when it comes to your gut like this.
I don't know if that's true, but let's hope I am wrong.
We just need to focus on getting to where we need to go. And then I'm banking everything on this, Smith.
It's not just you. Don't put this all on yourself. Everyone here has their own mind, made their own decisions, their own choices. Everyone here. Even if this doesn't work out, you're giving these people a chance. They didn't have that. Just openly opposing an army, running straight into a meat grinder.
I'm just glad they listened to us. What?
think he said land.
I think you did too.
At this moment, you look up, and you do see that the person in the crow's nest is calling toward Captain Buttocks. Buttocks acknowledges.
All right, let's go then. What you see then?
A mumbling of banter happens. You do look as they are talking to each other, and you do see across the horizon, towards the south, backlit by a spray of the setting sun, or the eternal setting sun, is a landmass.
What's that?
I don't know, like a mountain range, I suppose.
I'll go see if I can find Jet.
He's right behind you.
Oh,
That's
Jeez.
creepy.
Sorry. I heard shouting.
yeah, they, and I just point, and I'm still staring at it, I think. I don't think I've ever... Where exactly are we?
So, as you are...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Down here. So we're seeing this mountain range. The left here. The left.
You are up toward, you're actually probably where this... Yeah, let me...
Oh, what?
No, not over there. Hold on. You're not over there.
Oh, okay. I was
no.
like, holy shit.
Is this going to work today? No? Oh, maybe if I do this.
Yeah.
Hey, now it's working. Okay. Yeah, so you are just actually probably where the ship is, or at least in that direction. So, yeah, probably right where that is.
Okay.
As you start to make your way south, straight south.
Okay. And geographically, like, how different does it look from Evervale?
So, Evervale being a rocky, forested, temperate area. As you head a little bit towards the south, down towards Bowers Cliff, and up toward Eftoki, or down in this area, it starts to be rocky, mountainous, but also...
Yeah, like Arizona-ish? Like deserty?
Not quite yet. It actually is.
Okay.
There's a little bit more moisture here, as there is. It's sort of like these rocky mountains, but also with wetland feel. There is marshes, mandrakes, and also large deltas scattered throughout the area, with hanging vines off of the trees as you start to make your way toward. About
West Elizabethy then.
yeah, it's like a little bit
Blackwater.
of that. A little bit more like the swamps. As you
Yeah,
start
so
to
it's
make
going to
your
be
way.
like muggy and gross a little
muggy,
bit.
gross.
Yeah.
There's still some
Oh,
cool
fuck yeah.
air, but very humid here. As it starts to the south.
Yoda.
Yeah, that's like that southern coast, or the burning sands, start to meet. Because remember, we're in that gradient of temperate between the
Yeah.
burning sands and frostburn, and now you're just sort of in where Aftoki is, and around this area is a little bit more of that damp wetness and plains before it gets into a potential jungle.
Cool. Okay, so I don't think I've seen.
Probably haven't seen.
I've never
growth
seen
like
anything like
this.
this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm just a little stunned, staring at the nature and the landscape a little bit. I forgot if someone had asked me a question before I went on that little tangent there, so I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so you're making your way, and this is like
one did.
we saw.
Okay.
We saw on the horizon this, and then I think time passes, and as you get closer, that is what you start to notice as things start to get made a little bit more clear. You don't need to make a perception check. As we get closer and you start to notice these things, there is a delta up ahead, and there's a bunch of vines and trees and growth. But as we get closer, you start to notice that these vines, trees, and growth is not entirely all vines and trees and growth, as some bobbing things within the water start to then create the shapes of different boats that are inhabited by some people. A large membranous type hide is set and stretched across a sail as it looks like these humanoids are working for something. They are hoisting something in, whether it is a net or whether it is a large fish-like creature up onto a boat. It does look like there is a settlement of a working class here as you get a little bit closer.
Are you telling me this is like a village of houseboats?
As of right now,
Or-
you do see a village of these houseboats sort of working as a, but it doesn't look like they're anchored for a moment. But it doesn't look like this is the land where they are. Doesn't seem to be padded down with life, as if they've probably moved here and they're a nomadic type of houseboat rather than landing here and calling this area theirs. They're at least here now. As you make your
Yeah.
way toward the as the longbow makes its way towards this delta.
I am stunned looking at all this.
Okay.
I think.
As you get closer, you do start to notice larger humanoids. Some of them wearing different kinds of garbs. Like I said, there's a large leathery type, or maybe even scaled. I think a metallic, shimmering, scaled, sewn sail, as if you were thinking like maybe a reptile scale. But it does glimmer in the light as you make your way toward its direction. These boats, you have not seen this type of design before. Obviously, they float, but they are not in the that human type architecture that most everything has been at least adapted to in Evervale and toward the middle of the spine where you are all from. A blockier sort of architecture is seen on these boats, but as you do get closer, they do vary within species and race. As you see, some are large pointy ears, muscular, various color of their skin ranging from brown to green to gray to tan. And as you get a little bit closer, you do notice, and I don't know if you ever seen before, but these are, in fact, an orcish community as you make your way over. They do sort of look toward you as you make your approach. Some of them grab their weapons, but with what you see, you would outnumber them. You have an armada, you have several ships. They judge that you could be a threat, but it would probably be stupid to attack. So they sort of prepare. But beyond that, they don't do much besides watch as you approach.
I know this is a completely different area. I actually don't think I would know this.
Okay.
So never mind.
Okay.
I was going to suggest we like do an illusionary peace flag or whatever, because I know they have
Right.
colors to, but I don't think I know anything about sailing. So
Yeah. Yeah, as you approach, they sort of watch. They look towards each other. There is a bit of communication happening between, but they just sort of watch and watch as this boat approaches, and they are sort of stunned as you get closer. After some time, the boat does get close enough to where you can have an interaction.
And there are orcish communities where we are from as well, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Not as prominent.
Pronounced.
There is a diverse there's a diverse community within Evervale, but when it comes to this type like nomadic lifestyle and this type of settlement, there isn't really this close-knit community because of just the atrocities of what the Sorn have been up to. So they would push towards the edge, and you would probably know from Evervale that the outskirts of Evervale are usually the most close-knit people because of the impending potential conflict that the kingdom would want to spread. And as the kingdom spreads, a lot of the communities and cultures would gather and try to stand in solidarity, much like this, probably this, whatever this culture is, this community.
So our plan, to remind myself because I've forgotten, was one ship went one way, one ship went the other, and this ship came here. And then once we got here, we were gonna let them re-establish somewhere, and we were gonna wander off to scout the pendulum and potentially accessing the academy.
That was our original plan, but I think
But it was our plan in the end. Just 'cause it was
our
too
plan in the
risky.
end, I think, was all the boats to come here, dock, sell the boats for money, get a caravan, and they
And then,
go through, but we go on ahead and scout.
Right.
And then the caravan meets us there. But now we're all together, so I don't know what we want to do. Because we were supposed to, fly away and use the griffins, and then the storm came. So
yeah.
I also floated the idea of them burning the boats, so that because they're going to be looking for us. But I doubt that.
This is a
captains are
ship
gonna wanna do
community.
that.
This is a bunch of like moored boats, or it's a bunch of
These are active boats. They look like they're fishing
Yeah.
or grabbing nets, or they're,
Right.
looks like they're checking their net line. And it doesn't look like this is their. It doesn't look like that this is their home. This looks like this may be one of their where some of their
a fishing location.
their trout line is
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
And you've
Then
all
I-
sort of interrupted them as they're doing their morning ritual of checking the lines.
And nudge Varsha and say, maybe we can sell the boats to them.
I feel like that would be putting them in unnecessary danger,
Why?
don't you? Well, because if
Just
they're,
give them a lick of paint.
do we tell them that they need to paint it, or do we warn them in some way?
I mean, what the fuck are the Swarm gonna do all the way over here anyway?
Well, they're looking for us.
Yeah, but they're a bit out of their jurisdiction, aren't they?
I mean, maybe. When have you ever known them to, hello? Give a shit about that.
When they're coming up against an entire fucking orc tribe.
Yeah, maybe.
This was the orc that was speaking common?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello. I look over to Smith because I think he's better at. Usually, you've taken the lead at talking to people, so I just want to see if you want to do
They
that.
were always the other Swarm.
Yeah, I know,
It
but
was me yelling at people.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Oh.
What
Hi.
brings you here?
I fucking think I
I look
glance
immediately
at
to
Ty.
Varsha.
Yeah, we both look at each other.
We don't want any trouble.
We don't either. I think I'm exhausted, to be honest with you. We're running from the God King. I just say that.
Okay.
The God King.
Of Evervale.
Huh. And we can trust you.
Yes.
With your persuasion, he starts to turn and talk to some of his community members as he still speaks in Orcish.
22.
Come a long way.
A lot of us are from Stormford.
What?
The Spellkin.
Where is that?
And I don't know where I am, but I just point out to the ocean behind me. It's an island that has been turned into a fortress or a correctional facility for Spellkin.
Fine. We don't have much. But if this is true, how can we trust you?
You can't. Is there anywhere we can dock on the land?
You don't want to dock here.
Why?
Trust me. Dangers out there.
All right.
Okay,
well, where do
where
you take
sh-
your boats
yeah.
then?
Where are we from off Docky? It's
Okay.
up the coast a bit.
Right. If we go there in these boats,
We'll go first if this is true, if you can prove that you are who you say you are. We don't have any way to defend ourselves if you aren't who you are. So either you destroy us here, or we lead you back to Evtoki, and we can talk then.
yeah, we ain't destroying no one.
Yeah.
Plus, we would have done it by now, wouldn't we?
I will actually look around to see. I know there are prisoners who don't have proper clothes and shit.
Right.
And
And
so
you're also
I will.
pretty hungry too. Like
E-
there's always been the talk of resources on this trek.
Yeah. So I kind of gesture over to. I think the only people that look like they're in a fucking army would have been Smith and I. Smith is probably the only one because I'm not even wearing the sworn armor anymore. And the rest of us look, ragged and more like refugees. So I will kind of gesture and I say, do we look like an army or do we look more like refugees?
Oh, what you look like is what you're saying you are, which is helpful in your case, but I trust you. I am, you could call me, as I look up his name, I am Gumatog Iron Scream.
Iron Scream.
Iron Scream, aye. Of Iron
Nice to
Scream
meet you.
blood, I'm one of the only who could speak your tongue. But, you're lucky I came out today. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they would have done. But, we are at least I am a speaker of the Iron Scream blood, and we can, I have a lot of pull in Evdoki. So if we'll make our way north, you follow, and we'll see if we could help you out if this is really what it is. But if you are to plan anything else,
We won't.
You got food and shit like that we can trade for.
yes, we have plenty.
If Toki's a big city or what?
We were a big city. As of late, the Storm Father, the Tidal Father, had gifted us with a wash that had taken out a lot of our people. But we are rebuilding. We've learned to live off of the sea and off of what we have.
Yeah, alright. So, what do we do? Follow your ships?
Yeah, I guess you stay here for a bit and we will finish what we're doing. We've got a couple more to pull in. If you all want to eat, I would recommend waiting an hour or two, and we will make our way out. We've got some things to pick up here, and I will try to convince the others.
Right, well, we'll let you go as far ahead as possible so you can warn your people that there's going to be these ships coming in.
It's been a long time since we have had guests.
The God King will be looking for these ships before long. Is there somewhere we can dock that is not going to put you or your people in danger?
I'm afraid not. This place is probably too... we've not seen the God King here in quite some time. We'll use a long distance to travel. But you never know. I wouldn't worry. We do not worry about the reach of any sort of God King. We have Karantir down to the south, and they will protect us if we need.
Guarantee
To be
you
honest-
know as a distant elven kingdom.
Okay. Then
We can give you these ships. You can scuttle them, or you can, hide them off somewhere, or we can just. I guess we could send them off to a sea.
We'll
Can you do
trade
that?
for some supplies.
and maybe a caravan of some sorts,
Uh,
so we can travel by land from
we
here.
can talk trade when we get to Evtalki. Just give us a couple of minutes and we will continue getting our line set, and we'll lead you there.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, guys, have it. You're sure.
I don't trust him for shit.
As he starts talking with the rest of the crew, and they, of course, after a couple minutes of them starting to then make their way uncertainly towards, or skeptically toward their jobs and tasks, you do
Yeah.
see them pull up various different types of fish, large fish, size of like a small porpoise, so like the size of a table, maybe 12 to 15 in length, as they start to pull them up out of the water, and you do start to see some of them beat the fish with a large club and just start to stack them into some sort of reserve, and then or a large net, as they make their way, continue working. Over some time,
The hell is? Oh,
go on.
I was just going to say something, but please continue.
As you do continue to wait, is there anything anybody doing while these? As they
I think I'm just
continue
keeping an eye on them. I'm trying to see if they look afraid or if they look like they're trying to plan something. You know,
Do they
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
armed? Like, did they even have like a like?
Give me an
what-
insight
what,
check.
What were their armaments? and
Smith.
stuff?
Some of them reached for weapons, but they were just watching us to see
Yeah.
what we were going to do.
You say weapons though? Are you talking about like little clubs, or do they have like legit armor? Or
They have
crafted weapons?
armor. It's usually made of shells and different carapace. A lot of the leathers that you would see are this shimmering silver scale that they have. There's also like large clam and shellfish that have been fastened into their armor. But they do have what looks to be metal fastened armor. Or metal fastened weapons. Some sword, some and nothing too out of the ordinary. They probably don't have a triangular point like the swords that you have. They probably square off, and those are in a like a metal ring at their waist. They're not. They do have metal, but it looks like they use the metal for tools and weapons, and then they use probably the sea to give them their armor. But when it comes to what they are wearing, they don't look like soldiers. They look like they're wearing maybe some protective gear, but most of them are here to work. A lot of them have their shirts off in the morning sun, and a lot of them have drapes of that scale around them. That's whatever that scaled material is, as they're just working. These just look like a bunch of fishermen.
Yeah.
I
No real
don't
armada.
know what's wrong with me. Why did I do that? Why did I just blurt out, "I'm sorry"? And I'm like looking at the rest of them like I
get a 19 on my insight, by the way.
Your insight. You do notice that there are maybe one or two that seem skeptical about, and like they may have been like they're talking over there and giving you all the side eye. But as you watch, though, I don't know, 95% of these 4 or 5 ships that are working here are just working. They're continuing to do their business. They trust Iron Scream in whatever Iron Scream said to you, as they are just working to continue their day. Some of them do look over at you as if that guest is in the house that you don't know, right? And like,
Yeah.
and
like, oh,
they're-
who's that?
yeah, like that. Who's that sort of thing? As they sort of try to get familiar, but they still do work, and then they start to. And over time, these nets get pulled in. Some of them get set again, and then they make their way toward your ship. And Iron Scream makes his way over, and says,
We are ready. If you're all ready,
Yeah, we are.
all right, just follow us.
And the
Uh,
I'll probably lean in towards Ty. Just kind of say, they do seem like fisher folk. I don't see too many weapons here. We don't know what'll happen back at the city.
Well,
Probably want to just give everyone a heads up on the other ships if we can.
yeah, but let's not go crazy, you know?
well,
we don't
let's
wanna
have a run
startle
who
them.
we are and where we came from immediately.
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
It was a horrific mistake.
Yeah, I know.
You'll for those people a bag of gold or a fucking fish or something, and they're going to track us all the way back to where we're going. So don't say where we're going. And we're going to have to watch our backs when we leave.
Sorry.
the winds pick up. The sails furl. You start to see these the scales, the scalage sails start to then furl as well. As with some sort of elasticity, they bellow out, and they start to pick up a gust of wind. They tack their sails as they start making their way north. A couple of hours go by as just this slow coast, nothing out of the ordinary as it happens. They said they'd guide you, and they're guiding you back. You do make your way toward a slowing point, or at least a dock. A stone pier juts out, or several stone piers jut out of a rocky causeway, and some of their boats start to then some of these people start to set off and step down onto the rocks and tie down and some of these boats, and they sort of wave you in as well.
Question, just so that I understand. Did we sort of not really teleport, but did we just buy ourselves some more time? Did that storm kind of like move us? I just don't know how much time has passed in between leaving Stormford, and it was supposed to take us like a week. I assume it hasn't been a week, right?
It has not been a week.
Yes. Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Okay.
Storm winds be a bit more of a push
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
sails.
Let alone a Spellwind. Yeah. And so a couple hours go by, but you do finally make your way towards this causeway, and they lead you in as well, whether or not you're taking lifeboats. I'm sure you are because of the size, as you start to filter your way up onto the docks. You do see a large plain, a rocky plain with pools of water, banners of in Orcish tongue nearby, and signaling that you are in some sort of new land you haven't seen before. Off in the distance is a rocky mountain. Just up ahead is looks like to be an old stone fort, uplifted from a sunken piece of land, or at least a geographical like fissure or crevice that has lifted it up out of the earth, or at least out of the hearth for where it is. But water, you do hear splashing of water once you step onto the ground. The ground here is saturated with salt water. As they mentioned, they were gifted once with a wave. Unsure of what that means, but they did mention that they are rebuilding as they sort of splosh through the through this wetland as they sort of make their way toward this an old keep, as they say, as at least as you're all passing through, and the one known as Gumatog Iron Scream, who is wearing a different type of drapery. I think he's wearing a kilt made of these dangling shells that are underneath, or that sit on top of a drapery of this silver knitted or fastened scale. As he steps down, and you hear the jingling of the shells as he then walks towards and says,
Welcome to Eftoki.
and he points off in the distance, and you are able to see what is
No, stop.
Aftoki.
Okay, this is some creepy ass music.
Is-
Cartography.
It'll be here, I
Of
promise. It's one of these buttons.
Vampire's Castle.
Vampire's Castle. And that is where we are going to end today's episode of Spellwind as you make your way toward Aftoki.
We're in the swamp.
The dead mosses.
Yes,
If we meet a turtle, I'll die.
Well,
Live on stream.
now I have to make sure that happens. But, but that's going to do it. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thanks for watching whatever episode this is, 22, I think. I think we're on 22. I've got so many tracks of music playing. Where are these coming from? All right, there it is. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for being
I
here.
wasn't sure if it was just us or if
Yeah,
it was
no, I had
separate.
so many playing on accident. Either way, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for hanging out. This was Spellwind. We are off course in a new place that you all made up last week. So I had to try. So at the beginning of this episode, like early, like in the green room, they're like, "Oh, we're going to take the griffins and fly off," and I was like, "Oh, you mean not go to Aftoki?" They're like, "Well, no, we're
I
just
believe
gonna
that we spoke
And I was
about
like,
The
"Oh,
other boats are going. We're taking the
Oh.
Griffin.
right." And then I was like, "Oh, well, I've got to think of something." So anyway, that was me trying to save.
We talked
the
about
narrative.
Wait,
this
what? You
last
didn't plan the
episode.
storm?
No, maybe, but during the countdown, I was like, "How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this?" So we're gonna go around and we're gonna chat about ourselves and stuff. I'm gonna try to find the music. Someone take it away, PB.
Fucking what the fuck? That storm was so cool.
Thank you.
And also the like, I wasn't sure if it was necrotic magic or if it was time magic or I don't know, anything like that. But it was really fucking cool. And I can't believe you made it up in, it must have been 10 seconds, Cord. And the idea that it spawned these energy, that means so much to Varsha right now. The fact that the storm spawned intelligent life. Excuse me? You made it up in 10 seconds?
It wasn't 10 seconds.
8.
It was
It was
50.
like 15 or so. Yeah, more like that. Either way.
Anyway, I'm Pumpkinberry, and I am a huge fan of the show. That's it. You can watch me on Pumpkinberry, twitch.tv/Pumpkinberry. I'm playing Returnal, which has a swamp-like area in it, and I'm feeling this. And I also do a lot of Wild RP, which you can watch sporadically sometimes. That's it. That's me. I fucking love this episode!
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, PB. Go watch PB. Do it.
Oh.
Do it. Brad.
Oh, wait.
No.
Tidal Blades.
You, yes.
I'm also jamming Tidal Blades next week, so come watch that. Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern.
February 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
19th.
February 19th. Thank you very much. I'm very excited for that. That's going to be super cool. Tidal Blades is a really cool setting using the Cypher system.
Yep.
Yep. It's going to be great.
Yep,
It's gonna be great. So
yep.
Stop by, check it out. It's a really cool narrative system that is just lends itself to great storytelling. Speaking of great storytelling, Brad.
Hello, it's me. Interesting. This is why at Myth I don't give my players even horses, let alone griffins.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's just no horses. Well,
Can
they're
I
just
just say I'm
costing
glad they flew
absurd
away
amount.
and you didn't kill them with necrotic magic.
Yeah, they didn't fly away. They're around still, but they're just, being
Yeah.
excited. They were just out of the scene for a moment.
Fight him away.
But who knows? Maybe I will kill him with narcotic magic. Brad, still, what you're saying?
That's it. I'm done. That was all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching the show, everyone.
And then say
Take it away.
Everybody go follow Brad. Twitch.tv/Brad Wodo.
What was that?
Plays a lot of great games. What are you playing now? You're playing Frostpunk?
Oh, it's so difficult. I'm too dumb for it, but it's fun. But it's really tough. It's like it honestly feels like a weird roguelike. Is that what they are? You have to keep dying and retrying and do the whole game again, and then you die and get a bit better and you do it again. So
That doesn't sound fun to me. But it's fun. You're enjoying it.
it's kind of fun. Jay Britton does the voice of the fucking whole thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
So the whole game is just Jay Britton shouting at you, going, "New law! There are children allowed to work in the fire pits." And you're like, okay.
All right, Jay.
Child
That
labor.
side of it's very fun.
Oh, that's great.
It's an RTS thing, or like a city builder thing, but it's really difficult. Yeah, I don't know if I'm enjoying it, but I don't know.
But he is playing it.
What is that? There it is.
Do I
That's
have
it.
this? I need this in my life right now. Oh my god.
He has like a full set of ungodly emotes now, doesn't he?
I know.
Oh, man.
So subscribe to Jay. I would click the button, but I don't have it. I have a
Alright.
subscribe to Jay Britton button, but I don't have it set up. I'm so sorry. You have to tune into my stream, I guess.
All right, then that's Brad. Follow Brad at twitch.tv/Jay
Offline
Britton.
hype train. Let's go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's fun.
Those are always great. Thank you, Brad. And Meyer.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Wild RP and I play Meyer. Hello, my name is Meyer and I play Wild RP and Star Citizen and stuff. And that's it. I played Jet today. Today was really fun. I loved the the improv of the first half of the session. I mean, like, regardless of if it's planned or not, like, execution-wise, it's always so fun.
Dude, the constitution check for the I'm gonna be
Oh, I went down to 4 HP, by the way, during
I
that.
can't fucking believe that.
Hell
I would have died on
And
the
then you
next
killed it.
turn, I
And then
think.
you like stopped the whole thing, which was
And the
sick.
teamwork between Nope, I'm sorry.
I also enjoyed I forgot. It seems like it was ages ago now. The bubble bath was awesome.
Oh,
The
yeah.
narrative description
The
of that
jet
was
wash.
legit as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, the jet wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It
jet
was
wash. yeah.
legit.
It was legit with a D and a J.
Have I ruined it yet?
No?
But
If
yeah.
Spellstorm wasn't the best title ever, I'd call it Jet Wash.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to just keep, like, trying to, like, think of ways to describe alchemists things, just because
New ways of doing a spell.
Yeah, exactly. It's like half the spell, half the game to me is just like thinking, oh, how would this work? Oh, okay, and then rolling a 3 for 3 damage. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm enjoying this. It's a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for watching and for playing and all that.
Thank you.
That's me. You can find me on twitch.tv/Meyer, where I do stuff.
And he's amazing at the stuff that he does. Check him out. Thank you,
Stop.
Meyer. Okay, all right, we'll stop. All right, and whack.
Hey everybody, I'm Wax Steven. I played Smith for you today. And I do a few things here on Table Story. Witchcraft and Wizardry is on hiatus right now. We've got Rime of the Frost Maiden on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is Dungeons & Dragons, the Rime of the Frost Maiden module, which has been really, really great. I've really enjoyed the module, really enjoyed the campaign, and we're getting really close to the end. And the players are in the Caves of Hunger right now, and they're learning why they are called that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that out on Friday. That should be a lot of fun. I'm also going to be on Tidal Blades. Yay! Yes! PB's going to put me through the paces on that show and try to get me to feel emotions, which will be interesting. It'll be interesting. Otherwise, you can check out my channel, just Wax Steven on Twitch. I'm designing a TTRPG. I didn't do that today because I was still recovering from my booster vaccine, which knocked me the fuck out yesterday and part of this morning. And I'm gonna do. I think I'll stream tomorrow. I think we'll do tomorrow to make up for it.
Cool.
So tomorrow 1 p.m. we'll continue with the Whack Designs, a TTRPG where I'm designing my own TTRPG. Come check it out. It's a lot of fun.
You know what I think is really cool?
What?
This show is going to be a time capsule. Whack is going to be the, like, if you look back at episode 1, we're all like energetic and bright-eyed. By the end of this fucking show, 4 of us are going to be husks of humans, and Whack's going to be fine because of Wild RP. Because we're just like losing our lives to it, right?
I'll just, no, I mean,
Whack's
I'll
the
just,
only survivor?
I'll just play like this with my goggles on. You couldn't tell the difference, like.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Exactly,
There you go. Hey, look at the new jet.
I'm awake.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Everybody, for all of your comments on YouTube. And just thank you for listening, watching, and supporting the show. It's really awesome doing this and exploring the world and building the world as we play it. Like F-Toki last week I made up during the show. And then I had to figure out her name. And then I had to figure out what kind of place it was over the week. And then how, of course, today, how do we get there? So it was really awesome to do that and to be in a place where I can with all of you as an audience and those of you who are supporting me on patreon.com/Spellwind. Thank you very much for that. And if you would like to
The answer was a black hole.
That was it. Yeah, you just put a black hole
Was it?
in the sea.
No.
Did a magical
because of-
Spellwind black hole.
No, because he said
The spell
When he said it took-
hole.
he said it took longer than 15 seconds when I said it, and then I said the creatures that you created that are conscious. He was like, the way he said it made it sound like he's always known that the Spellwind could do that. So I don't think it's a black hole. I think Cord knows exactly how we got there. That's my
I think
theory.
it's a magical black hole.
Uh,
I think Cord
No,
would
actually,
make a
I don't.
magical black hole.
do you want to know what I really think? My theory?
Yes.
I think that the ley lines are like the Spellwind is a literal wind that we can see, but also it permeates through all the layers that, what's his name said? Sykes talked about multiple like levels, and I think we just can't see. So we literally rode a, what is that called? Sorry, I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. Thermal that we couldn't see. That was literal Spellwind. That's what I think.
I love it.
I have my theories, however, they're going to be kept to myself.
Oh, was that,
Did it work?
was that Myers' way to tell me to shut the fuck up and let me out?
Well, tell us what your theories are in the Discord. Thank you, everybody. I'll see
We're
you all.
going to just allow PB to get a little bit of sleep before she talks again.
I don't know. I think it's great.
No, I like that. We should have her do a podcast like
Brad's
this.
camera froze at the best spot.
Oh, I did it on purpose.
Brad already left.
You don't realize you're gonna pull a face and then just leave the call,
Yeah.
but not the clean feed,
Perfect.
Okay.
and it's a fun time.
All right, I guess we're all doing this now.
You shouldn't do it, probably, right?
Okay,
But
yeah, you're right. Right, now everyone's leaving. Okay, wonderful. All right, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. We're going to head on out.
all
Everyone's
right.
gone crazy.
Don't
And-
forget to check out PB's podcast where we deprive her of sleep for once a month and then just record her for an hour.
Yep. And
Bye.
I'm
Bye,
never
everyone.
speaking again.
And everyone, everyone, thanks again.